One of the challenges that often arises is dealing with people, particularly board members and volunteers, who look at the process of soliciting and look for shortcuts. As a general rule in fundraising, the easier it is to do something, when it comes to soliciting gifts, there are lots of other areas that are different, but the easier it is to do, like writing a letter, sending out a mass mailing, or doing a phone call rather than a face-to-face meeting. When you move down that solicitation ladder, you significantly decrease the cost effectiveness of that solicitation, and you're going to raise less money. One of the places that is often viewed as an obvious way to reach more people is the group ask. It's basically saying, well, let's get people together in a room and ask them as a group, or you've got a school and you're going to have a reunion, and so the reunion class is going to decide on a goal and work on that. And I'm not against reunion class giving, but there's some problems with it unless it's handled carefully. But the general concept of and this is based on my 25 years of experience, if you're going to have 20 people come together with a group gift or towards a group goal, generally speaking, there are one or two people in that group that have the capability of giving what you will raise from the entire group. Why is that? Well, it's because if you look at the gift table and what people tend to think in terms of giving, the vast majority of the people at that table, what they think of as a large gift is far below what those one or two people think of as a large gift. And so the group think tends to go to that lowest common denominator. So if you have 20 people and you set a goal, in people's minds they're roughly saying, well, if each of us came up with $1,000, we could raise $20,000. Well, if you've got a $20,000 goal and there's somebody in that group that's capable of giving $20,000 and there are 20 people in that, they're going to look at it and they're going to say, well, there are people who can't give as much as I can. I'm going to give $5,000. And there are other people in there that are saying, wow, $1,000, I can't do that. And so they give $300. But what you've done is, yes, you may have raised some people from the bottom, but you probably lowered some people from the top. There can be some challenges to this whole concept of group ask, and I use as an example reunion. I want to be clear that if done effectively, reunion challenges, for example, can be very effective, but they're not effective if they're not carefully thought out and planned. I've seen situations, in fact, where reunion class goals have lowered people's levels of giving. Not the bottom. People may double, triple what they would give annually. But the size goal that you set for some of the larger donors may lower what they perceive of as giving. So how do you address that? Well, if the development staff is part of the planning for that reunion ask and that reunion challenge, for example, or setting the reunion goal, if you can plan far enough ahead, you can think in the context of saying, well, let's get the leadership gifts towards this challenge first before we even develop the goal. Let's have a specific targeted approach towards some of the people with the largest potential to help set a large goal. And by that, what you have is an opportunity for the person who might give $25,000 towards a reunion gift to help motivate other people to give. Maybe it's $25,000 to help as a challenge to motivate other people. But let's say you got a $25,000 gift and a $15,000 gift and a $10,000 gift. Well, all of a sudden, and maybe it's a small school, all of a sudden you may be in a situation of developing a $100,000 goal rather than a $50,000 goal. specifically because you are developing a goal based on taking into account those very large gifts. I've seen planning committees for reunion giving where the large donors aren't at the table. And so when the goal is set and when people talk about what they're doing, they're thinking far below what the real capability is of that particular class to make a real investment in that institution that these people deeply care about.